Hello, my name's Andy, and in this free video series I'm going to be showing you guys 10 songs that you can play with 2 chords. Sounding familiar, I have certainly done this kind of series before, right? But the difference here is 1 chord in every one of these songs is either a bar chord or something that is going to train you to be able to do bar chords better and easier. So this is fantastic for those people who've been playing guitar perhaps for a few weeks or months or perhaps even years, but you're still not able to play any of the songs that you want. This video series is going to give you the skills that you need to be able to strum and do a simple strumming version of any song that you want. But to enable us to do that, we're putting the limit on it of 2 chords, so we don't need to worry about structure. That's what we're taking by the wayside, and the question of where are we now and following a chord sheet too much and not focusing enough on what we're actually playing, that's the focus, that's the change that we're making here. This first video actually has 2 songs, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck here, and we're using the C major chord and the F chord. That's what we're addressing straight away. Every video in this series will have easier chord options as well, so it's not like you have to play bar chords, otherwise you can't do this. I'm going to make this super accessible and you can do this even if you've never played a bar chord before, but we're going to be really trying to get you to play these songs as authentically as possible and give you the skills that you need to go on after this little video series to be able to play whatever simple strumming song you want and hopefully progress on from there. So these first 2 songs are Lou Reed, Take a Walk on the Wild Side, and Feelin' Alright by Traffic. I've taught these 2 songs before on my YouTube channel, but we used a capo at the 3rd fret, and therefore we were using the kind of easier A major and D major shapes. Without a capo, but still in the same key as the original recordings, those 2 chords become the C major chord and the F major chord. Now I'll be covering bar chord principles in 1 second, but I just want to make it clear that this C major has to be played like this, but to play the F major chord we can use this much easier F like a C. So if you just want to strum these 2 songs as simply as possible without a capo or capo if you're an American, we just move the 2nd and 3rd finger down like this, keep that thinnest string ringing out, and that is our C to the F major chord. That is totally fine. We have the full, big, bad kind of F chord played like this, and we also have this kind of hybrid between the 2, which is really, really useful. I use this all the time. It's a great change between the F and the C. However, if you want more lessons on kind of in-depth looking at the different chord options, you can check out this video just here, and there are more helpful links in the description if you feel like you might need more work. For the remainder of this tutorial, if you can't play this bar chord at all, this F bar chord, if this is a no-go, use the easier F major 7, which is like this. Make sure we're not strumming the thickest E string, but you can strum string 5. So your thumb only needs to mute this thickest string, and then we strum like this. And for the remainder of this lesson, I'm going to be demoing as this bar chord, as that is the kind of idea of this course, and we're going to be doing it in this fashion. If you want, you can also use this hybrid F, because as you can hopefully see, we have got a little bar here, just strumming the thinnest 2 strings, and with this thumb on top, we're using a bit of both. We are using a bar because the thinnest string is holding down 2 notes. That's all this word bar means, just holding down 2 or more strings, and we're actually hitting all the same notes, especially when we hold down the note with the thumb. We're hitting all those same notes down, so it's a really, really useful option, especially on acoustic guitar. Make sure you can try and do that. We're on the other lesson that shows you exactly how to do that, a lot more in depth, and gives you exercises to do it. It's in the description and up there. Plug, follow my lessons, subscribe to Andy Guitar, all of that jazz. Okay, but we're going to go for the bar chord from here, okay? Top 3 tips for bar chords. If you haven't ever watched my content before and you don't know yet. Number 1, keep that elbow into your side. What that does is not only put you in a naturally better playing position, but it keeps this first finger, the barring finger, on this side of the finger when it's playing, okay? we're actually holding the strings down with the more, it feels like the more bony bit of your finger rather than the really fleshy bit. So we're not like this, we're like this. That sorts most problems. If it's still not ringing out, and remember, all it actually has to ring out is the thinnest two strings and the thickest one. The ones in the middle, we're going to have fingers on them. So we need those, the thickest one and the thinnest two, ringing out with that first finger. If this isn't happening for whatever reason, try moving that first finger up a little bit. Okay, that's tip number 2. Just not a lot, we're just moving the string outside of the crease of the finger here, where the finger kind of creases the inside of the bone joints. We're just making sure that just moving it up a little bit, perhaps down a little bit, but usually up a little bit. That really helps. And finally, fingers 2, 3 and 4 have to be as curled as possible. We need these kind of claw hands. We need to be like we're Wolverine or something, okay? We need these claws like this. And by keeping the elbow in as well, this first finger isn't like this, but it's slightly, ever so slightly, on this angle. And then what we should be able to strum, with a little bit of practice and drilling, the change between C and the F, C and the F. And by working through that, and perhaps sometimes just as a little bit of rest, sometimes using the F major 7, just in case that first finger's getting tired and it needs a rest. Going for that? Sometimes, if you're really awesome and you're making real progress, you can sometimes use this hybrid, so that any which way of playing these two chords, and remember, if you can play the F chord, we can then go on to play any chord on guitar, which we will be covering in this course. We're not only just covering the F chord, but it's really important to know we've got these different options, so that when you hit a roadblock, you can't go any further, you have other options to try, including using a capo perhaps, but we've looked at that sort of thing in other videos. So what we want to be working towards is 1 bar of each chord. That's all we're doing. Simple strumming. I'll show you something a bit cooler with the strumming towards the end of this video. Quick links will be in the description. But 1 bar of each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I am actually doing this without lifting off that 3rd finger, because that could be, doesn't have to be, an anchor finger. And notice that that little finger is staying right next to that 3rd finger. It's not kind of like this, you know, I'm not drinking tea like an Englishman. I'm keeping that 3rd finger always right next to the 3rd finger, because it does absolutely matter. And if we can do 1 bar of each at this sort of tempo, round, don't know exactly, but what will we be, about 95 BPM, 96? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, do, 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 maybe 90 BPM, do, 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 do. Okay? That is absolutely perfect if we can get up to that sort of tempo. If we can't, we just slow down the tempo. We slow the BPM, keep all your strumming even, don't do some faster and then have a pause, or don't have a big pause while you're changing chord. Just slow everything down. Give yourself that time you need. Do 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 do. Okay, and even just with this 10 minutes practice, you should be able to get a good way to doing that. This works on electric guitar as well as acoustic guitar. It's all the same stuff. In fact, electric guitar is a lot easier for this kind of stuff, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, acoustic guitarists, but it is true. Just to show that this works for Feelin' Alright by Traffic as well. The verse and then a quick blast of the chorus. If you want to play along, please do so, but we just strum on the beat, and we're going to start from the C, and 2, 3, 4. So a bar of C, 2, 3, and then an F. Keep that going if you can. Seems I've got to have a change of scene, 'cause every night I have the strangest dream. Imprisoned by the way it couldn't be. but someone's locked the door and took the key. Oh, you're feeling alright. I'm not feeling too good myself. Hope you're feeling alright. Okay, so I jazzed up the strumming there such a little bit, but we're just trying to keep it fun. We're just trying to keep this something that you guys can do. If we can do this on the beat and just focus more on the chord changes, that is great. If we can jazz up the strumming in a bit, that's great as well. The strumming is its own challenge, of course, but let's go for something totally different. Let's try and go for the strumming of the do 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 do. Okay, we're going to try and mimic that with the strumming, just as a bit of fun. Okay, number one rule of strumming: keep your hand moving. So the hand is always actually going to be moving 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. It's always going to actually be moving like this. And whichever ones you catch, we're going to match that vocal. Do, 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 do. Okay, that's what we're going to be going for. And if we have a go at that just on the C chord, there'll be more help with this strumming pattern in particular on the website, links in the description, where I'm going to make sure I have an interactive kind of strumming thing that you can follow. Something I'm experimenting with, let me know what you think. But the strumming pattern, and with the chord change, notice I've really slowed that BPM down. We're probably about somewhere between 70 and 80 now. So do, 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 up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, do, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so I hope that's something they can do. If the strumming wasn't happening for you just now, that's totally okay. We're focusing on those chord changes, and this hand, naturally on guitar, kind of the chord hand and the fretting hand develops first, and then the right hand with strumming and picking tends to happen afterwards. So this course is perfect for those people needing to develop their fretting hand first. The next song we're going to be going for is an absolute belter, and it is based on all the same principles that we've been looking at here. So I hope you'll join me for that lesson 2 in this series, and follow this series to learn loads of great songs and get more help on the website and on the Andy Guitar apps. All the link to all that stuff is in the description below. I hope to see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't already.